Nightmare is perhaps the greatest show of all time. Not just children's show, not just game show, not just television show, but the greatest thing ever to have been devised by mankind. It was exported to France as Le Chevalier du Labyrinthe and to Spain as El Rescate del Talisman. Olé! See what I did there? But it was never exported to the world's biggest consumer, America. Why did Nightmare not break America? Surely it would have sold loads of merchandise there, and so why didn't they make a television program of it? They make a television program of everything else. Why did we not export Nightmare to America? Well, perhaps I'll be able to answer that question. If you care to watch with me, today I will be taking you through the amazing story of a show that never made it all the way to America. I'll be taking you through the pilot, or maybe the makers of the pilot, of Lords of the Game. Game. The game. I've just gone and lost the Something that could be said about Nightmare's popularity in Britain was that it was fundamentally a British institution. Obviously, Tregar, the dungeon master, spoke with a very British accent, and therefore it an American show. We have to get through their night into the Lords of the Game. Well, there wasn't really much to be found in Britain. I tried to contact the show's producer, Tim Child, and here's what he had to say about this. Tim? Will you say something? Anything?
What?
Tim, we're supposed to ask you about Lords of the Game.
What was that?
Lords of the Game?
What is this Lords of the Game? I know nothing of this Lords of the Game.
Obviously, Tim Child knows more than he's actually telling. He doesn't know anything about this Lords of the Game. So, I decided to go to the only place where I could actually find out about Lords of the Game. I decided to go all the way to America. Here I am in America. Now, I'm going to use very, very, very complicated techniques that media experts use to find out stuff about Lords of the Game. Lords of the Game! Does anyone know anything about Lords of the Game? Sorry, do you know anything about anything called Lords of the Game? Lords of the Game, have you heard of it?
No.
Okay, thanks for your time anyway.
Lord of the Rings?
Lords of the Game. Not Lord of the Flies, or Rings, or Dance, Lords of the Game.
It's a computer game, is it?
No, it's not a computer game. You heard anything about it at all?
Nothing at all.
Okay, thanks. Have you ever heard of something called Lords of the Game?
No.
No, Lords of the Game, nothing at all? Okay, thanks for your help anyway. Have you heard anything about something called Lords of the Game?
No.
No. It's a television programme, have you never heard of it?
No.
Okay, so, thank you anyway. Won't anyone in America tell me about Lords of the Game? Yeah. Second. Do you know anything about a television programme named Lords of the Game?
No, I don't.
You've never heard of it? Lords of the Game? Okay. Thanks anyway. Sorry to bother you. Have you ever heard anything about Lords of the Game? Does the name Lords of the Game ring any bells?
Not at all.
Okay, thank you anyway. Lords of the Game? Do you know about Lords of the Game? Hey, come back here. Hang on. Let's have another look at that truck. I knew there was something special about it, so let's get some digital enhancement going, shall we? There. I knew everyone in America was withholding evidence about Lords of the Game from me. It was just how to expose it. Fortunately, soon enough I found someone who was willing to talk about Lords of the Game. Hello there, random person who I've never met before in my life.
Hey Pooka, life is good here in
America.
America.
Yeah, I wanted to know if you know anything about Lords of the Game.
No, but I think I know a man who does.
Lords of the Game? Well, that really does take me back.
This is August Zabladowski. He's an American producer who was hired to make Lords of the Game.
When Tim Child contacted me to make a US version of his smash hit show Kightmare, I knew it would be fantastic. In fact, if I'd ever seen Kightmare, I might have thought it'd be even more fantastic. But no, I'm American, so I just went ahead with it anyway, because he drove a truckload of money to my door. I thought it was great. I bought this fantastic hat with all the money. It cost me $7 million, imagine that.
And were you actually involved with the eventual making of Lords of the Game?
No. The American doesn't know what he's talking about. As a matter of fact, August Zabladowski did create the pilot of Lords of the Game. Tim Child wasn't on hand to help him, but did give him a vague outline of what the game should entail. He also enlisted Hugo Myatt to play Treyarch, a fact that actually never happened. But he did hire some people to help August Zabladowski out. August was very dynamic about making Lords of the Game, and even agreed to watch half an episode of Kightmare to get an idea of what the final idea should be like.
But if Tim was involved, why was he so reluctant to talk about Lords of the Game? Was it a complete failure? Whatever his reason, this just goes to show that Tim was telling lies.
Well, the Sewers of Goth was an amazing idea, which we decided to adapt from Kightmare to suit Lords of the Game. Basically, we concocted this amazing mixture of loads of different types of liquids. We got some water, some green food coloring, some hexachlorophene just to make it sticky, toilet duck, orange juice, umbongo, to drink it in the Congo. Of course, good old-fashioned American piss. We put it all in a vat, we mixed it together, and it was, it looked great. Of course, it was terrible. We threw the whole thing away. And then we just ended up digitally rendering the Sewers of Goth, Yeah, but it was great. I mean, we'd spent half the budget making this green goop, and, it all went to waste.
Was that a setback at all?
No, we're American. We're used to wasting stuff.
But despite the enthusiasm of the director, Hugo Myatt, who was supposed to play Treyarch, pulled out immediately before production started. August ploughed on regardless, and within a mere 3 years, he had a pilot that worked of Lords of the Game. He was very proud of it, but they still had to go through post-production, digitally rendering, and of course, music and sound. And were the Lords of the Game crew happy to do this?
No! In fact, immediately after making Lords of the Game, a lot of the production crew said, "Oh my god, we've ruined Kightmare." And then they all committed suicide. We had a 4-man funeral. It was very sad. But the guy who did the music is still alive. In fact, the guy on sound still hasn't been told we don't need him to do any more music. In fact, I'm not even quite sure he's saying it anymore, but the thing is, right, we have this pilot, we have the music, we have the technology. I did all the post-production myself. The blue screen chroma key technique didn't quite work.
Why is that exactly?
Well, because we didn't have a blue screen. But, I sort of did everything myself, and I think it worked out pretty well, since I have very little...
No
experience in doing anything at all, really. But we have this pilot, and we put it out to the television studios, and sorry to say it wasn't actually very successful. So why didn't Lords of the Game happen? Well, I can't give an answer exactly, but I think it was probably something to do with the guy we took on to replace Hugo Myatt. You might recognize him. Watches, pause a while, the adventure, dungeon style. I'm sorry, I have Tourette's. So there you have it. I'm afraid it's not a very good reason, but that's all we've got. That's the truth. No Hugo Myatt, no Tim Child, no real talent whatsoever. Doesn't make for a very good Nightmare. But hey, that's just America. It's just one country. Why stop with America? There are loads and loads of countries that really haven't experienced Nightmare. And a dynamic young talent with an idea, well, it's just what they need. Oh, hang on a second. Hello. Oh, brilliant, you've got that low-cost flight deal to Monaco. Fantastic. Meet at Heathrow Airport when? In 2 hours? And you've got the Nightmare props? Brilliant. I'll see you later then. I've been Pooka Got Bored. Thanks for watching.
Lords of the game, Lords of the game, Lords of the game.